No way is a folding saw like this gonna be able to cut through PVC pipe and metal conduit.
Oh, what? Oh my.
Because when I see a folding saw like this, I think of just one capability, cutting through wood, that it's best suited for me to kick open, fall some small trees for bushcrafting and camping, to help me build shelters and get firewood. Well, the MOSSY Oak 3-in-1 folding saw claims to be able to do a lot more than just process wood for us, potentially making it an ideal survival saw because it comes with 3 separate saw blades that you can swap in and out without any tools, so that depending on the type of material, if it's natural or man-made, in theory, you should be able to get through it. And I bought this recently off a recommendation from one of you viewers, Fred Eschen 3783. Said that he had recently got it, really liked it, and that I should try it out. So I appreciate that recommendation. And we're gonna find out today because we're gonna run it up against some tried and true favorites and see how this saw stacks up compared to those. We got tons of natural material to go through, but I also have 1/2-inch rebar, plumber pipe, conduit, and PVC that we're gonna try out as well up against these 3 blades. And this blacked out version is kind of the light wood, greenery, pruning, not hardwood type of blade that we're going to take a look at first, which has a pattern of 5 teeth per inch. And the spare blades, along with the saw, are transported in this nice little nylon sheath. Look what they even give you there. It's got a little loop over to keep everything secure with some Velcro. It even has a little button snap for your belt or to put on a pack, which is just a nice touch that a lot of other folding saws don't offer. And I have several that have, even when they're closed, like some exposed teeth that could potentially like snag on clothing or gear if you throw them in a pack. And for the price that you pay for this thing, it's a nice little touch. And since I'm hitting on that, I paid like $17 for this saw over on Amazon, which is wild. I'll have a link popping up here as well as in the description box below the video over to my Amazon store. So if at any time you want to peel off and check this out, or some of the competitive saws I'm going to run in here in a little bit, if this saw can do what it says and claim it can do, that's an insane value of under 20 bucks for what you're getting. So we'll begin with a 1-inch cedar post. Not bad. Then we'll follow that up with this right here. I mean, it seems to go through pretty easy and ergonomically. It feels good. I mean, that wasn't bad at all. So the large tooth blacked out blade is performing exactly like I expected. It's not that difficult to be able to draw through light wood like pine, which we have a lot of here in the Rocky Mountains. So on my trek, it ate through it, no problem, as well as some of the backyard testing here. It's doing what I expect. You are going to be getting 7.5 inches of teeth on each blade, and this blade is made out of 65 MN steel, which is the same type of steel you'll find on like the Kershaw Camp 10. I've had a lot of experience with this. Very shock resistant. It's a low alloy tool steel, so should perform very similar to like SK5 steel you'll get on a lot of other saws. Well, let's go ahead and go to the second blade, and it's very easy to swap out. All you have to do is with this knob right here, and you see the screw on the other side, you just untwist that. That loosens up the blade, and then literally you just pull out the blade right there. You can see how it connects, just sits in there, notches, and then the screw that you're manually turning just pinches it all together. Seems to be very tight from this testing. Under 5 seconds, I got a new blade on there, ready to go. Oh, whoa. Okay, that was a lot faster on the hardwood with that blade. So significantly faster on deadwood when we swap to the 11 teeth per inch blade, at least from when I was hiking, and now having been back here in the backyard, let's just see what it'll do with these two other same cedar and pine log that I cut the other with the other blade. Oh yeah, I can notice. It's just not snagging as much. I would say on that last piece of wood, it was about the same amount of time as the blacked out larger tooth blade, but the stroke pattern for me was a lot easier. The back and forth, it wasn't grabbing because the teeth are smaller. And so, I mean, between the two for deadwood, I would usually try this blade, the medium 11 teeth per inch. Now, I mean, let's get to what we're all here for. Can these blades actually start going through knotwood, go through some plastic PVC? But before we do that, I do invite you to like and subscribe. Make sure to hit the bell icon so you can be notified every week when I put up videos just like this. Now, I'm sure like you guys, I got tired of trying to stay hydrated on trail. Well, Hardside Hydration has come up with an excellent solution, giving us their swig rig and ultralight swig rig system, attaching to any rigid water bottle a hands-free straw, allowing you to stay hydrated without having to worry about all the problems that come with a water bag and bladder and all the headache of taking in and out a water bottle out of your pockets. And I really appreciate what Dane and Dustin, the founders of this American-based company, have come up with. Myself, many of my friends and family have totally transitioned over to Hardside hydration systems when we're out exploring, camping, backpacking, hiking, whatever it is. And I invite you guys to check them out as well. I have a link popping up as well as in the description box below this video, along with my exclusive 10% off promo code that you can apply towards your purchase. So I invite you guys, check them out and stay hydrated on all of your adventures. All right, moment of truth. Oh, shut up. Okay. Oh yeah, man. Okay, now we gotta find out PVC. All right, let's see here. Whoa, dude. That went right in. Oh my gosh. Shut the front door, yo. Yeah, buddy. What? Wow, that thing didn't even blink. Teeth look great. Clean cuts on both. So, I mean, name the scenario, some sort of emergency where you might have to cut through polymers. This mid-grade 11 teeth per inch one, I mean, didn't even break a sweat doing that. All right, let's see if this metal saw can really do it. All right, 1/2-inch piece of conduit. This brings me back to my electrician days. Oh, what? Oh my gosh. Okay. Initially, it's getting it. Let's see. It is wanting to snag a little bit. Okay, come on. Just trying to do real easy, nice and clean. It's doing it, it's just not fun, and it's wanting to grab a lot. And I'm trying not to push forward and just draw back. It's getting there. It just wants to snag on everything. Okay, there we go. Not the cleanest of cuts, it did it. I think what was happening is like on one side, and initially, I mean, just ate right through it, but then it was just really catching because of how thin the siding of the pipe is on those little teeth. The teeth seem fine from what I can tell. I'm not really seeing any damage. I'll be very curious to see what the rebar did. So, I mean, for me, for that part of the test, I in an emergency, absolutely could cut this EMT. I think that's what it is. I'm trying to remember all the terms from 2 decades ago. But I could do it like in an emergency, but I wouldn't want to like, oh, I'm going to go do my shed and cut, my my conduit with this saw. No, I don't want to do that. You're going to want a Sawzall would be faster, but ultimately like a proper tool, you know, to cut through that pipe. But let's see what the rebar does. I have half of mine to think it might be actually easier on this because there's no lip. That was after 1 minute. Let's just see what it's doing here. I would say probably a third of the way. A third of the way through. So like 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes to get through that is what it would take to get through a 1/2-inch piece of rebar. So not blown away by that capability. I really wish it would have gone like way faster. It will do it. It will do both. But it is like emergency level. You know, like, okay, we got to cut this piece of pipe for whatever reason. I'm thinking, I mean, our prayers, our thoughts are with you guys who have endured all of the devastation from the recent hurricanes back east. You know, but if you're trapped, if you have something that you have to cut to, you know, just make something work until, you know, help arrive, something like that. I mean, this is better than not having it. And my other wood saws are not going to be able to do any of the stuff that we just saw here with both the PVC and other piping, and then with both of these metals. And like, you know, a vehicle, aluminum, metal sheeting that isn't a super thick gauge, this should be able to go through without issue. So when we look at the Laplander versus the MOSSY oak, it's made in Sweden or Finland. I can't remember which one. This is made in China, so that's something to consider. So it is cheaper and the cheapest at under 20 bucks with everything you're getting, but this is made in China. This is made over in Europe. The push button lock, a little bit different. You know, the ergonomics I feel like are very similar and remind me a lot of the Silky, as I stated earlier. This will be the lightest, so if you're looking at man portable, the BAHCO Laplander is like 6.5 ounces. Just the saw itself, I think, is right around 9 for the MOSSY oak. Then with like the 2 extra blades and the pouch, you're looking at almost a pound, like 14 ounces. So it's pretty heavy. So if you're looking for speed and lightweightness, and basically for bushcraft, that's where I really feel like the Laplander shines, is like really fine cuts and notching, and you're building stuff out. And this medium blade definitely does give that tool run for its money. Now the Samurai is in the middle for a lot of different things. It's pricing, it's like 23 to 25 bucks currently on Amazon, and again, I'll have links to my Amazon store in the description box below where you can find all 3 of these saws, so depending on what you feel like, you know, makes most sense. Made in Japan for that price, which is excellent. This is super cool. If you are like holding something one-handed, or like, you know, just hanging in a tree, just trying to like delimb something, whatever it is, you can depress that lock and one hand deploy that sucker and even close it all the way up and kind of catch it right there. Boom. One-handed. The other two have too much tension. You can't do that. So that's just a nice little touch. All 3 are going to have replaceable blades, meaning like you can put, you know, when a blade wears out, you can put a new blade on it. The Samurai is going to have the longest blade at 9.5 inches. Now the extra 2 inches, along with the curvature and the handle ergonomics right there, mean that for draw cuts, I mean, it's going to beat out the other 2 every time, just because of the extra blade length, extra curvature, speed of transition, and the ergonomics. So if you're just trying to eat up wood like this around a property or camping, you know, in a survival situation where you're in the backcountry, that's where this one still dominates and is still going to outperform. And I would take, because it's only about an ounce heavier than the Laplander, coming in about 8.5, and an ounce lighter than the MOSSY oak. So it's kind of right there in the middle. It's like the ideal survival-ish saw. With the 2 first blades, I was blown away. I was very impressed with those cutting capabilities, and it will definitely cut through like polymers. And then when it comes to the metal, it can get the job done, but just barely. And that's where I would just probably get like some sort of plumber saw, you know, to be able to go through metal a lot easier with just a better design and like even smaller teeth with that. But again, in a pinch, I could. So it is like a jack of all trades. If you want just purely bushcraft, go with the Laplander. If you need big, heavy-duty wood processing, Samurai. If you kind of want to be able to do a lot, having a go bag, I would probably consider this if you live in like an urban environment at all. You know, to have one of these on hand now in an emergency situation, I think is a smart thing to do. But you could also argue just get the right dedicated tool for whatever environment and whatever material you're going up against. So it's a very interesting piece, outperformed my expectations in most areas except against the metal. That's where it kind of like, 2 out of 3. So that's what we'll give it. 2 out of 3 stars in its capability. But guys, that's me and my mileage. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on all 3 saws and whichever ones you own. How have they been performing for you over the long haul? Again, all of you who are suffering right now from the aftermath of these hurricanes, we just think of you. We're praying for you. My family and I pray every day for you guys. I encourage us all to donate, give how you can. And in a way that you can, and leave a comment below if you are in the midst of, in the throes of trying to rebuild your life. We will be praying for you specifically, and just appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Hope that it's been fun and entertaining, giving you a little reprieve, but also giving you the data info you need to make wise decisions. As always, check out the other videos, subscribe if you haven't, and until next time, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.